Today we're going to have a showdown between a centrifugal juicer and a twin masticating juicer. And we're not going to mention any brand names. What we're going to make is Joe Cross from Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead's Mean Green Juice. And the Mean Green Juice is composed of 6 stalks of kale, and we got enough ingredients for 2 glasses. 6 stalks of kale, 4 stalks of celery. It's too cold in here. 2 green apples, 1 cucumber, 1/2 of a lemon, and 1 thumb of ginger. Okay, so these have been pre-measured to the nearest gram, and we will run them all through the juicer, and then at the very end we will compare the weights of the juices that comes out of the juicers. And we're going to actually save the green apples for last because they tend to brown. So the first one we're going to do, well, let me show that we've zeroed this out. Okay, so it's actually a -1, so we'll zero it out again. And then we will add the kale, and my cameraman will take over from here, and I will do the juicing. So these have been pre-spun to get as much water out as possible. It's the OXO salad spinner. I mentioned a brand there. Okay, so if we bring the camera over here, we can see that the scale reads 223 grams. So I guess we lost a couple grams somewhere. There. Okay, 225 grams. So can you see the 225?
Yes, I filmed it.
Alright, so let's run the 225 through the centrifugal juicer, and we're already plugged in and ready to go. So you probably noticed the kale flying around the kitchen. That's just the way the juicer works. And we had 225 grams just then, so we will zero this out one more time. So kale left over there. 225 grams, and we'll zero it out. It was at -1, so we'll give or take 1 gram. It's not going to make a big difference, but we will do our best to get them exactly the same gram weight before we shove them into the juicer. And just a note on the price of these. These are all organic. I'm going to guess on the price. Okay, so we had 227, 228. Let me cut off a little bit here. down. 227, still need a little bit more. 225.
Cool.
Okay, well, went up to 226. Cut off just a little tiny bit. Alright, try not to get too close here. Okay, so we got an even, well, up to 226 again. So let's just shave off a little tiny bit. And we got it pretty steady now at 225. So we will go ahead and run this through the twin gear masticating juicer. Same amount that we just ran through the other juicer. And this runs around, I believe it's about 3,200 RPM, and this one runs at 86 RPM. Some of the juice fanatics think that lower RPM is better. And I believe that the Norwalk juicer, the first part of it, the second part is...
Water comes here.
Well, that's just the way the juicer works. The Norwalk juicer, it is the two-stage juicer. It's also a $2,500 juicer. The Norwalk, I believe the first stage, which grinds up whatever you're juicing, runs at about 2,000 or 3,000 RPM. It's not slow. But this twin gear masticating juicer runs at 86. I'm not saying it's better, but some people say it's better. I believe that the theory is the high RPMs heat up the juice and cause some of the nutrients in it to die because they get too hot. As the doctor pointed out, when the stuff gets into your stomach, it's going to be 98.6 degrees anyway, so they have to get hotter than that to have any damage done, theoretically. Damage done that your body's not going to do. There might be a counter argument to that, but today we're just going to be comparing the outputs from these two juicers. I believe this juicer is made in Korea. The one next to it is made in Australia. And this juicer, there's a version of it that's virtually identical to this on Amazon for about $1,000. I think it's $9.95. This one actually came from Canada. Has surgical steel in the blades, but in terms of, and it ran at $1,400, but in terms of actually getting the juice out, I think it's extremely likely that this is identical to the $9.95 version on Amazon. Okay, so I just dropped it in there. So we're done with it. This thing will eat some things, and kale is one of them. Sometimes you can just set it there and not even use a plunger and it'll pull it through. And you have to let it run for a minute or two after you finish stuff in because it's a three-stage process. You can actually see stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. So I'll leave this running over here while we back up and try to get the next one ready. And we'll, like I said, we'll save the apples for last. Might as well go ahead and do the ginger now. So we will zero this out, which it already is, and 16 grams. And this ginger here is 16 grams. Okay, so we're ready to go with the ginger. And just toss that in there. And let this run for a minute too. And let's go ahead and weigh the lemons. Let me go ahead and run that ginger in there. We will suck the ginger on here. Okay, so next we'll do the lemons. 42 grams. Those two slices. This is half of a lemon and 42 grams. So we're all set to go. Lemon. Alright, so the cameraman assisted us with the lemon over here. We have 42 grams of lemon in each slice. And centrifugal juicer is a little more noisy than the twin gear masticating. So next we'll go ahead and weigh out the cucumber. And this has been pre-sliced and pre-weighed, and it should be exactly the same number of grams. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in this to make things a little easier. Okay, so we'll zero it out, and then we'll drop these in. I was going to go over the prices. The ginger is about $6.79 a pound, so we're probably looking at 50-75 cents. You can do the calculations yourself. These organic cucumbers, that's organic ginger, and it's tough to find in Boston. Organic cucumbers, $2 a piece, and the kale, organic, it's about $3 a pound. So you can do the calculation, but I think that would be about $2.25 for each glass. So we're looking at 399 grams. Okay, so it looks, let me chop off a little and get it steady at 399. If you could back up just a little bit, that would help probably. See if we can get it steady at 399. Okay, good. So we're steady at 399. We'll run this through the and I'm trying. Try to do with every juicer is run things through the juicer as slowly as possible. They all say it in instructions, and I think it's true that you're going to get more juice out if you run it through as slowly as possible. So we just had 399 grams on the cucumber. And we got 399, 400. Okay, let's take a little bit off. Still 4. Right on the border. 399 grams steady. Okay, so we'll run this through the twin gear masticating juicer. Of course, there's other things you worry about besides how much juice you're going to get out. You worry about cleaning time, initial price. But one really big factor is going to be, especially if you're paying for organic stuff, but even if you're not, if you're using those over a long period of time, one really important factor should be the quantity of juice you're going to get out. Because juice that you don't get out is juice that you're throwing into the garbage can. So we're actually probably going to have to do this juice in 2 stages. The cup does not hold enough to get the entire one mean green juice in there. Okay, and both these are very easy to use. So let's go ahead and, so we got the kale. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and do the celery now. And I'm going to use the basket. And we will zero out the scale. And these have all been pre-measured, so they should be exactly the same. That's 227. Actually, I'm going to weigh the other one first because I've got some small stalks here that I can use to redo the weight. 228, 227, 228. All right, let's cut off a little tiny bit here and see if we can get it down to 227. Okay, so we're holding steady at 227 with this one. So the celery is about $2 for 2 pounds, and that'll give you about 3 juices. So talking 75 cents or so. You can run all 4 of these through at the same time. But I'm just going to do it one at a time. I'm going to push them in as gently as I can. Slicing my fingers out. Slowly as possible will yield more juice. The centrifugal is about $100 on Amazon. So we were at 227 before. Got a little tiny piece in here. And we got 227 on this one. So you're spending 10 times more money, so it's a significant difference. I'm going to go ahead and empty the first batch of this out. Get some out of the way. So you're talking about a significant difference in price, in the initial price of these juicers. Some of the people talk about foam being a big deal. They claim this makes more foam than this. Well, we can see that there is foam. So
What is foam?
foam, it's this
Foam, oh, I see.
at the top. Okay, so we'll go ahead and run the celery through here. 227 grams of it. And this one is also being pulled through automatically, which is nice. That means it's taking it in at its own speed. Without any help. Barely gonna fit. A thing that surprised me about this twin gear masticating juicer was that you can run carrots through it. I've never had to cut a carrot, but I'm buying organic carrots. Some of the non-organic carrots are significantly larger, and they would probably, well, definitely have to be cut. But thus far, I've never had to cut carrots. This is a famous brand of carrots, and they're organic carrots. All easily fit in the chute of this juicer, which is nice. So I think we're all done except for the
Apples.
apples. And we're going to have to play with these apples to get them the same weight because we got one big one.
Can you smell at the camera?
Yes, I can smile at the camera. Okay, so I actually have some cleaning tools. I didn't show you the cleaning process, which took a long time. I actually have a bunch of tools here, but I don't use them. This one cores apples and other things. And I find that using just the knife has pretty much the same effect. This was for washing vegetables and carrots and fruits and vegetables and peeling. I used to peel the non-organic carrots. I also have some tools over here that I don't use anymore. This was specifically for celery to clean, and this was for apples and fruits. I pretty much replaced all of those with this single sponge, which probably functions very similar to a common sponge you can get anywhere. I happened to get this one on Amazon. And I found, especially things like celery, you can actually see the dirt on there. And you scrub it with this and you still see the dirt. And you scrub it with this and the dirt comes off. So I'm pretty much using only this at the moment. And I'm not going to show you on the video, but to Joe Cross's recipe for the mean green juice, I add a green pepper, which gives it a little tang and improves the taste enough to be worth adding. So we'll just...
Where did you get the chopper?
Out of the sink. So these apples will turn black very quickly, so we save them for last. And to get it to fit into the twin gear masticating, they have to be cut. They probably fit uncut into the centrifugal juicer. We're not using any juicer brand names because we don't want to get sued. Get letters from lawyers telling us to take the video off. And there are more than one brand.
Hey, that one.
There is more than one brand of twin gear masticating juicer, and this one is completely steel throughout. There are other YouTube channels which compare the completely steel throughout with gears that have I don't know if it's acrylic or what, but they're white in color. And I used to own one of those juicers, and I can say that it's the amount of juice you get on the YouTube demonstrations about 10%. So probably in that juicer runs about 500 or maybe even less in different versions on Amazon, and would be a good choice, I think. Would certainly be an alternative to spending $1,000 on this completely steel geared juicer. And it also has a slow RPM, I believe. Maybe around 100 or so.
How can you weigh those apple pieces?
You put them in a container. You can zero out the scale. So, all right. So I think we've got the chopping done. So we'll turn on the scale, and just go ahead and stand back till I get this done, because I'm going to have to.
How about you put them out in the container and get half of them out?
Container's not set up to do that easily, I think. So we'll just approximate it. It's about 295 there. And let's try this one. So 385, so we need about 2 slices. So this one's exactly 350. And let's see if we can get the other one down to 350. You can back up just a little bit. You can hear the masticating. I found that you can run it for like about 1 to 2 minutes after it has finished.
22, 23.
Okay, so we're gonna need like
This one.
So we're gonna need about 12 grams from the other one. Okay, so we're looking at 336. Let's try this one at 336. I was just saying you can run the 340, so we'll see if we can get 4 grams off of this. Run that masticating juicer about 1 or 2 minutes after it finishes, and it will have all the juice out. 38. Okay, so we have 336. Well, went down to 335, 336. Okay, so we got 336 grams here of apples, and we will go ahead and run that through our just take a little tiny bit of force and then you're done with the, okay, so we'll zero this out.
Why not you turn it off? It's noisy.
Making sure all the juice gets out. And we want 336 grams. So we have 338, so we'll have to chop this one down a little bit. Okay, 336. So
it's noisy, turn it off.
One thing about this masticating juicer is there's an optional, it doesn't come with a juicer, at least if you buy from Canada, there's an optional plunger that has rubber around it and fills up the chute. That would be an excellent choice if you can get it, and I would recommend getting it at the time you order the juicer if you were going to order the juicer. Save on shipping. If you run some things through here, like citrus fruits, there can be some foam that accumulates. That's not a big deal because if you wait like 1 or 2 minutes, the foam will eventually go down. But from a psychological standpoint, at least, it would be a wise investment, I think. And also, after you clean this, you don't want to leave it soaking in water. I accidentally had some water in here the other day and have a little tiny hairline fracture in the wood, which doesn't impede its usefulness, but it does cause concern about storing it in water. So be very careful. If you have an expensive piece of equipment, you got to take care of it. And one thing I'll mention, which is axiomatic with juicers, and that is, no matter what, as soon as you're finished juicing, you've got to clean the juicer. That is axiomatic, because it will be much more difficult to clean the juicer later after the remnants, the dregs, have had time to harden. So even before you drink the juice, and I know it's tough sometimes, but even before you drink the juice, you'll notice we got some mash in here, and that's why if you had that other plunger, it would certainly be worth the investment. It would shove that right through there. But you've got to clean the juicer immediately within the first couple of minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, as soon as you finish juicing, because that's just the way that you have to work with juicers. Especially, well, I've never let the juicer sit, at least not in recent memory. So we're trying to get all that in there, and then we'll let it run for like 2 minutes to get the remaining juice squeezed out. Since it's a 3-stage process, that extra 2 minutes is for the stuff. Okay, so now we got a clean hole in here. So we'll just wait for 2 minutes until it's done. We might as well go ahead and test the juice that we got out of the centrifugal juicer. And I've got a couple of these, so we will weigh it while we're waiting. So we'll turn this on. Okay, and this has a really convenient feature. It has this little lip here which will filter out a lot of that foam. So we will just go ahead and pour the juice in there and see how many grams we've got. It should equate to milliliters. And while we're waiting for the 2 minutes, I'll just let it drain here. Looks like right around 540. A little of that foam coming through. 541. Okay, I guess we got some juice buried in that foam. Getting up to 587. 592. 93. Actually, what I think I'll do is just throw the foam in there, since maybe some people count that as part of the juice. That's bringing it up an extra 10 grams. And I'll use my finger here, trying to get some of this foam to get in there. I think if you're going to see it on YouTube, you got to keep it flat. You can't do it at an angle.
Sorry.
And you might have a question about whether there's a taste difference between these two. And, well, I'll answer that in a minute after I get it weighed. Okay, I think we're pretty steady at 606, 607. Okay, so we got 607 there. We'll just keep that there. Actually, we'll probably have to remember that because we might turn this up off. Let's see if we can get this juice out. Well, I should have zeroed it out, shouldn't I? So let's take it in there and zero it out. We got 607 with that one. And I probably taken out a gram or two.
Just wash
Step
it.
to the side. I'm gonna throw the juice away. All right. My hands are clean. So we will. This I probably got about 4 grams in there. We'll go ahead and zero it out. With 607 with the other one. And that's part 1. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. Okay, we're topping 1,000 here. 1,001, 1,002. Plus we probably have about 4 grams on the wall. I'm going to go ahead and use my finger and try to get some of this. This probably doesn't have as much foam as the other one. And it's difficult to tell. Both of them definitely have foam. So if you're going to spend the extra money to not get any foam, it's not going to work. Of course, the Norwalk probably doesn't have any foam. So we had right around 607 with the other one, and we got about 1,003 with this one. So we got over a liter, a little over a liter with this one. So we're looking at like 40% difference on the juice that comes out of these 1,004. And this one was about 603. So we're talking about an extra 400 milliliters, an extra 40%. And
facing the camera.
that will conclude
Facing the camera.
this demonstration of the twin gear masticating juicer with the centrifugal juicer. And if you have any comments or any questions, I might try carrot juice or something tomorrow or sometime soon. Okay, so...
And I have a suggestion.
Oh, I will go ahead and do a taste test. This
Okay.
is very subjective, but... I can definitely say that there's a difference in the taste. And all of these, like the lemon, came from the same lemon, and the celery, the same stalk, and the kale, the same bunches. All these, the ginger from the same big root. The juice that went in here was exactly the same genetically. And when it came out, there's definitely a difference in taste. What that means, I can't say. But 100% anybody. In fact, I'm going to ask the cameraman to taste both of them so we can get a second opinion.
This one doesn't have enough lemon or sour, kind of like lemon taste. This one has strong lemon and ginger taste.
So you'd say that the taste is definitely different?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
This one has more cucumber, which is blend.
Okay. All right, so it could be that more of some ingredients got into the juice than others. But there is definitely, I think that some of the juicing nuts would say that it's oxidation or enzymes or whatever. But whatever the case is, there's definitely a difference in the taste. And these two were made from the same ingredients, the same stock, the same weights. So that will be the end of today's demonstration. And oh yeah, you got this is Joe Cross's t-shirt. So that's the end of the demonstration for today. Hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, I have a suggestion. Maybe you can take the drag from the conventional juicer and put it into the new juicer to see how many juice you can get from the drag.
Alright, well, let's try the dregs from the centrifugal. Let's see if we can get some of that 400 grams out. With the, okay, we're going to have to dump these dregs. Let's try weighing the dregs. Let's see, I'll pour it in here. And we'll see if we can weigh the dregs that came out of this and the other one. So we'll zero this out, and then we'll pour the dregs in. And we're talking about, okay, I'm not going to be able to get absolutely all of it, but maybe within a gram or two. About 148 grams of dregs. And I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put those dregs into. I think I'll go with this bowl.
Just dump this and get it into this one. Get the drag into this one.
I think this is a better choice. So I will go ahead and zero this out, and we will try to weigh the dregs from the other one. What was this?
148.
148. this out. Now, of course, one thing you might be thinking of is running the dregs through this again. And I have in the past actually run the dregs through it 5 or 6 times, trying to get more stuff out. And we'll also note that there's a significant difference in the quality as well as the quantity of the dregs. Ooh. This is pretty mushy, as you can see. And the other one was pretty dry.
You told me goats won't eat it, right?
No, that's from the Norwalk. Nobody's ever done the test on this. Alright, I'm not getting all of it, but getting as much as I can. Let's put it on the scale over there just to keep the scale going. Or just put your finger on the scale and make it move. Okay, come back. Alright, so we got the dregs. How much were those other dregs?
148.
148. Got some dregs stuck in there. Not going to be able to get all of it, but we can approximate it. I was actually going to do this off camera, but I'll go ahead and let you. In other words, I had the plan to do this, but not as part of the demonstration. Got some apple dregs there.
I think that's enough. That's all you can get.
Alright, that's pretty close to what we're going to get. So let's see what we got. 148, and this one was about 591, 592, 591. Okay, so we got 591, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to have to wash my hands. So, where's those other dregs?
Here.
Okay, so I need this. I'll just leave that the way it is. Got the dregs in my hands.
Didn't you zero this, right?
No, I'll have to do it separately. It's going to take too long. Let's see, I need my wooden cleaner. It seems to be taking a long time, but actually probably the longest time was before the camera came on, when these vegetables were being, and fruits were being prepared. I've never actually run these centrifugal dreads through this masticating juicer before. They just gave me experience. With carrots, you got to put significantly more pressure on this wooden plunger to get the carrots through this machine than you do with the centrifugal. Getting 40% more out, so that might be a small price to pay. Probably running it through too fast. As you can see, it's coming out of the chute. It's actually going to take quite a while to get all this crap through here. Note the quality coming out. This is pretty dry. This is not dry. What's going in, it's not very dry at all. Got chunks of apples here too. There's no chunks of anything coming out of this machine. This is where that plunger I mentioned earlier would come in really handy. We have stuff along the sides of the walls of this chute. And I mentioned before that sometimes I've run these dregs through the centrifugal juicer 4 or 5 times, and even after the 4th or 5th time you're not getting dry stuff coming out. You are getting a little extra juice out. So especially if you're paying 2 or 3 times the price for organic produce, it's probably worth the effort if all you can afford at the time is a centrifugal juicer. And the centrifugal juicer we had here just a minute ago, this is still sitting here, is about $100, but I think you can get them $20 or maybe even less.
Would you sell it?
Sure, if I could find someone to buy it. I've only got 2 hands. I can't work more than 1 juicer at a time. And you'll also note that with this one, especially when you're putting pressure on it to try to get things through, I'm holding it down here. It'll tip there a little bit if you don't. Of course, if you're running celery or kale and it's eating the vegetable as it's going in, then you don't have to do that. But you do have to put a little pressure on your left hand in order to hold it down. Not very much. Center of gravity is not too far away. We're getting down to the end of the dregs. Just going to set this down. And if it occurred to you to run the dregs through this machine, back through it again, I haven't actually tried that, but I would suspect that since they are so dry that you wouldn't get very much juice out. So these dregs are stuck to my hand, everything else. But we're certainly getting some juice out of it. And the dregs that are coming out of this look different than the other dregs. Of course, they have been all mashed. Yeah, they've been all mashed up by the centrifugal juicer, so they're kind of a mix. Actually, if you could not get me dirty over here, that would be great. So we got about 2 minutes to wait, and then we'll go ahead and weigh it. I think I'm going to just put it in a ball jar. So we'll give it another minute or so. definitely a difference in taste. Alright, we're getting pretty close. Actually, one thing you can do is take the lid off of this and run your finger down there and get some of the final juice out. You can see some of the juice coming out. There's little tiny holes here. And those gears inside, at the first part of it, they touch each other, the gears, and smash up what's coming in. The second part, it gets squeezed through these holes, like the tiny holes in front and the larger holes in the back. And any juicer is going to be a little bit of a pain to clean. Some people claim this one's really a pain to clean.
What do you think of? Do you agree?
I think that all juicers are a pain to clean. So I think we're just about to the end of the juice. This thing has a fan on it, which will run for 2 or 3 minutes after you turn it off. And I think you're only supposed to run it like 30 minutes or so without turning it off, but I sometimes run it longer. Okay, so now we're going to see how much juice we got from the dregs of the centrifugal juicer. We got 468 grams, so that's 469. So that's pretty much reclaiming the lost.
That's not true.
It was 607 and 1,008, right?
1,003.
1,003.
Yeah.
So that's like 400 grams difference, right?
Yeah, but so this, if we add this one and this one, they are much more than this one.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I'm saying that we're...
So if you, how about if you run this through the fancy juicer to see if there's any out?
All right, let's turn it into a long video. So these are the dregs from the...
And compare the drags.
These are pretty much the same. They're both pretty dry.
Okay.
Alright, so we're running the dregs from the Angel through it. I've never done this before. I don't think we're going to get much out because it's so dry. Looks like it's eating it.
Hey, it still got some.
I won't even need the plunger with these dregs. You can actually hear it grinding in there. These are pretty dry. And I'm missing the chute a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this.
Because
it sounds like it's not very good for the juicer. I think the juicer likes wet things to go through it. So I didn't need the plunger at all, and it's gone from there. Alright, so we'll turn this off and go ahead and weigh it.
can you zero this and put that in?
Yeah. So we have 472 grams. That is a lot. And we got about 68. 69. 70. 71. One of the inspirations behind juice therapy, or one of the big early proponents, was Max Gerson. And I know, thank you for the direction. Alright, about 72 grams. Doesn't taste that great. I don't know. Doesn't taste like either one of these. Okay, so wash my hands.
Where does the sweet taste come from?
I don't know. Probably the lemon and apples. Okay, so that's the conclusion of the demonstration for today. Twin gear masticating juicer versus centrifugal juicer. Had 1,003 grams, 1,007 grams versus 608. About 600 to 1,000. So we're talking about 40% difference with exactly the same input. So signing off for today. Happy juicing.